Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Um, One thing I will tell you is that a lot of times when you're dealing with doctors and stuff, sometimes it's awesome and sometimes it's not so great as well. Um, what my endocrinologist has, leave me voicemail messages saying, "Hey, I need to talk to you about your test results," but it gave me the wrong phone number. Maybe you heard that one before. I don't know. But anyway, it's been kind of a lazy day today. It's been kind of a lazy day today, so I don't know. But anyway, I want to talk about something. Yeah, this is a comic book related. Back in the 90s, Image Comics was born. Image Comics was born from seven comic book creators who decided to say, screw Marvel, screw DC, we're doing our own thing. Because they're very well talented. They revamped heroes, made them better, made them more relevant. But they don't have creative control over them. For example, Rob Liefeld, late '80s, right before I graduated high school, he got assigned on New Mutants. Changed it around by saying, let's change. These guys have been high school kids. Let's turn them into adults. Created a guy named Cable. Now, also, New Mutants '87 is one of the hottest comic books ever, still, and it's kind of hard to even get a copy of that without paying, a couple $100. I got the second print though, which is fine. Oh, and also Rob Liefeld also created the infamous Deadpool. Todd McFarlane helped make Spider-Man, revamp Spider-Man, made him awesome. Helped create Venom. Eric Larson was another Spider-Man artist. Introduced humor. Jim Lee, which is one of the seven. Big comic book artist, of course, back then. Took X-Men to the highest selling comic book still ever, in the top 3, I believe. Yeah, maybe still be the number 1 still, probably. But the thing is, like, people like these guys, Jim Valentino, Guardians of the Galaxy, Will Pistachio is doing something which I can't remember. Maybe he was another X-Men artist or something. I know he did X-Men for a little bit. I remember he drew the first Bishop, which I have, and I have that signed by him. So that's kind of cool. But like I said, these are good creators that people like. They just said, screw everybody, and we're going to do our own thing. And they did. Todd McFarlane, all of them created their own little. They decided, well, Image Comics, it's gonna be creator owned. That means if you created it, you own it. And we have a gentleman's agreement where we won't poach our own. We won't poach, our own staff, your own staff, other people's staff, which is rumored someone broke. But anyway, so first thing I want to talk. So the thing is, this might be a big ass video, in which I don't want to make a big ass video. I want to probably cut it up in chunks. So first, I want to talk about Rob Liefeld. Well, like I said before, his rise to fame was New Mutants. His favorite character, of course, is Cable, because he created it. Favorite character is also Wolverine. And Wolverine and Cable, and a Deadpool style character. Right now he's drawing Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, and Snake Eyes kind of resembled Deadpool for a little bit. But anyway, what happened was he had Extreme Studios, and what happened is he tried to create his own little universe. He created his own little universe. But I don't want to focus on everything he did. I don't want to focus on everything he did. I just want to focus on a couple things. What happened is a lot of them did like mini stories, like a mini series, 4 issue mini series, just to introduce their work, and then they go to the regular series. So Rob Liefeld created this thing called Brigade. Now, fun thing is, I simped for Image because anytime somebody came up with something, I bought it. Now, the funny thing is, I just read these for the first time in like 30 years, maybe? Was it in the 90s, 30 years ago? 2000, 2010, 2020? Yeah, 30 years. I haven't read these in like almost 30 years. And the thing is, these books, the stories still hold up to the time today. And the funny thing is, they also introduced new artists, which some of these new artists have done some big things. So, like, for example, this is the first issue of Brigade right here. First issue, which is on the limited series. Murat Michaels, who is he does some work still every now and then. But what happened was, okay, I don't have one of the books on me right now. He created this Supreme character also, which is kind of like a Superman style character. And I read this is that sometimes there's not a lot of backgrounds. Like, it's just like a splash page, a lot of empty space. So compared to certain other books where there's a lot of background stuff or anything like that. Brigade is a random bunch of superheroes put together that's funded by these two brothers who are rich. The funny thing is, this was kind of dull to me. It was kind of dull. Now, 30 years ago, this was like awesome. I thought, man, this was awesome. But now, I'm like, this is a case of what was I thinking? Check this out. This is the regular series. Same kind of structure. Kind of boring. Very boring. Very boring. Just, this was like a wraparound cover. Show you that to you. The Blood Brothers story. I mean, and the thing about Image is that originally all the characters, oh, I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. They had like Marvel, they have interlocking stories to a certain extent, where some people all the creators have their own projects in the same place, which caused a lot of other legal issues later on. But the thing is, the storytelling is very simple, very, very simple. I remember like this page right here. It was like, when I saw this, I thought this was like the coolest thing ever. Blam, blam, blam. One guy looks like he got shot in the balls. Two guys that look like got shot in the balls. I was like, and I thought this was cool 30 years ago. I read this today and I'm like, man, I tell you. I mean, then this one interests me more, called Bloodstrike, created by Rob Liefeld, of course. The artist was named Dan Fraga. Now, the cool thing about it, Dan Fraga I met at a comic book convention a couple years ago. and I had bought like I had every one of the number ones. I bought like 2 or 3 of these suckers. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. So I had this. So I had one of these. And Dan Fraga said, "Oh, did you get the updated version? They re-released it with updated color schemes and everything else." I was like, "No." So he gave it up to me for free. Signed that one. Signed my other one, and I found this one to read. I was like, "Okay, cool." Oh wow, look, a guy that looks like Wolverine, and another guy that looks like Cable. Imagine that. 2 characters that he already created. They all look kind of the same. Imagine that. Now, the thing about Bloodstrike was different. It was a superhero team contracted by the federal government. One little hint: they're all dead. There was this project called Project Born Again, which if a person died, they could just reanimate them, and they're technically zombies. And it's kind of funny because like this guy named Cabot, he is the twin brother or brother of this guy named Battlestone. So they're brothers and they hate each other's guts. This is Blood Brothers Part 1. This is Part 2, I believe, or the prelude to it, something like that. Shogun, the guy who creates super freaking armor that has all these super ass weapons. Forearm, who has 4 arms. I think his name was Deathstrike or something like that. Can't remember. And Tag. And the funny thing is the gimmick cover is like blood splatter. Let's see, let me get you. If you look real carefully, see, like right here is like blood splatter. And I was like, oh, that was all the rage. Same kind of storytelling. Not great, but same kind of storytelling. The Wolverine guy who uses guns. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't get sued, but there was one interesting sideline was that during their all time, this girl named Tag, she used to pick up men at the bar and sleep with them, and they usually end up with some kind of necro kind of disease, kind of like a necro disease where they like rot from the inside and they turn dead kind of thing. They never followed up on it for very much, but you know, hey. But anyway, Rob Liefeld created a lot of things, then infighting between him and the other founders, and they kicked him out. Revamped his stuff, which I would talk more about his. Oh shoot! Nope. I'll just do that now. While I'm at it, since it's all Liefeld. Now the fun thing, even though Rob Liefeld, he still people still consider him a very great artist, which he is. Even though some of the stuff he does, and his biggest thing was called Youngblood, which is his quote-unquote Avengers style team. This is Youngblood number 0. I don't have the first ones, but because they got destroyed. So this guy's kind of like Hawkeye. This guy named Chapel, he was a badass. Who, I'll talk about him in a minute. Battlestone right here, who got kicked out. Oh, look at this. Wolverine looking dude. But anyway, this guy named Chapel, he was like one of the most interesting people in Youngblood. He was your mercenary. What happened was, and these guys were like celebrities. So what happened was the federal government, to keep control of him, because he sleeps around, So they injected him with AIDS. But they have the thing to, they injected him with the AIDS virus, and it's suppressed. So what happened? All they do is activate it, and boom, he has full blown AIDS to keep him in line. When he wouldn't follow orders, then they sent him to the blood stripe with the dead people, and that was pretty fun too. That was a pretty fun story too. But you know, you see, everybody's like big and ripped and stuff like that. You know, but you know, it's to this day, he's still considered one of the greats. I follow him on Twitter, and the funny thing is, he still talks goodness, and he still gets work. He still gets work. Trust me, he could do whatever he wants. Also, he tried to leverage, for somehow, I guess he lost all the stuff that he created. He lost in like a lawsuit or something like that. So it was kind of weird, but it was kind of funny, but it's kind of weird. But anyway, that's enough for today. This video for that. Next video, I'm going to talk about another image creator. Alright, talk to you later.